Buddy. It is Tuesday. We're starting with activity 3.2. I'm going to go through and explain the graph a little bit for you. We're going to define the variables, write an equation. Your job will be to do problem 2A through 2E. So let's talk about this. First of all, the constant of proportionality from a graph is really the title of the activity, and the graph displays a relationship between the time and the distance that Ella runs. So define the variables and write an equation to represent the relationship between Ella's distance and time. So the variables are going to be time. That's the x-axis. And time is the independent variable. Okay. Now it's in minutes. And then we're going to have distance in kilometers. That's going to be the y-axis. And that is the dependent variable. So if she's running for any number of minutes, you can calculate her distance based on looking at this line. And so our equation, we're always going to be looking for the y because that is the dependent variable. We can work backwards if we have the distance to find the minutes, but we're going to set it up as looking for the dependent variable. Okay, so y equals something plus time subtracted divided by, we have to pick an operation with x. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these data points. 12 minutes, 2 kilometers. 24 minutes, 4 kilometers. 30 minutes, 5 kilometers. This one's kind of in the middle, so I'm going to leave it alone. And that looks like halfway between 42 and 48. So 45 minutes is going to be 7.5 miles. And then finally got way out here. Each one of these tick marks is 3. So 60 is 10 kilometers. So if 60 is 10, 12 is 2, it looks like for every minute, the unit rate would be 6 minutes for every kilometer. So if I take my number of minutes and divide that by 6, I'll get the number of kilometers that I run. Okay, so y equals x divided by 6, or you could write this as y equals x over 6 would be another way to write that. All right, so, and I got that because on any of these points, x divided by 6, so 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 12 divided by 6 equals 2. 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So I'm using the data and expressing that constant to become what I use for my formula. And every time I take x and I divide it by my distance, y, I get 6, my constant 6. And then more importantly, every time I take my y and I divide it by 6, or divide it by x, I get 1/6. And so now we're taking 1/6 of x, or x divided by 6, to get our distance. Okay, so this is the equation that you would use to solve the rest of these problems. Good luck.